Good evening. I'm Greg Floyd.
And I'm Liz Bishop. Doctor-assisted suicide is certainly an issue that's recently gained national attention after a terminally ill 29-year-old woman from Oregon legally chose to take her own life.
Now there are two separate pushes for the same thing right here in New York, one through the court, the other through the legislature. Kimberly Howard explains.
If after all the attempts that I've made, the patient still wants to die, I have to pay attention to the patient's wishes, and I would say yes.
Dr. Samuel Klagsbrun is one of several New Yorkers demanding that doctor-assisted suicide be recognized under the state's constitution. A lawsuit filed in state Supreme Court Wednesday argues that some terminally ill patients have the legal right to decide their own death.
Right now, that is a crime. It is manslaughter under the penal code, and that really would apply to a doctor.
If the lawsuit is unsuccessful, Senator Dianne Savino will be ready with legislation. New York could join Oregon, Washington, and Vermont, where doctor-assisted suicide is legal, but not without some pushback.
It's a very complicated policy. It's a very sensitive subject for many people. Many people of faith look at this, you know, and they have concerns about how they could reconcile this with their either Catholicism or their Judaism.
There are also concerns about abuse, according to Dr. Giza Lopez, who has studied doctor-assisted suicide for years.
So basically this coercion aspect, that's why I think it's very important that we keep this idea that the person, him or herself, needs to administer. And in this case, it's orally.
That's what the bill in the works would call for. It would also require a patient be deemed mentally competent to make the ultimate decision.
There are many people who think this is just about suicide. This is not suicide. Brittany Maynard wanted to live. She wanted to desperately live.
Kimberly Howard, CBS 6 News.
And Dianne Savino says the legislation is still being drafted, but she is expecting to introduce it soon and hopes to push it into law before the end of session.